The Tommy Campbell Show. Made in America iPhones, Marjorie Taylor Greene, tariffs, and submarines. Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still covering the latest and stupid.
President Trump is going to fix our global trading relationships. And at the same time, he's going to work with Congress to make America the manufacturing center of the world with the lowest taxes, the lowest regulations, and the cheapest energy.
Stephen.
All right, yeah, whatever. I mean, he's a top Trump advisor, and he's lost the host on the entertainment channel for married cousins. That says a lot.
Does the president endorse something that Howard Lutnick said on television this weekend, which was that the army of millions and millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones, that kind of thing is going to be moving to the U.S.? Is that how the president envisions manufacturing shifting? And if so, how long would that take, roughly?
The president wants to increase manufacturing jobs here in the United States of America, but he's also looking at advanced technologies. He's also looking at AI and emerging fields that are growing around the world that the United States needs to be a leader in as well. So there's an array of diverse jobs, more traditional manufacturing jobs, as you discussed, but also jobs in advanced technologies. The president is looking at all of those. He wants them to come back home.
But iPhones specifically, is that something that he thinks is the kind of technology that can move to the U.S.?
Absolutely. He believes we have the labor, we have the workforce, we have the resources to do it. And as you know, Apple has invested $500 billion here in the United States. So if Apple didn't think the United States could do it, they probably wouldn't have put up that big chunk of change.
Before I do a deep dive on the comments from the press secretary that was 9 when the first iPhone came out, 9. And whoa, that means her husband was 41 at the time. Creepy, yes. Okay, before I dig in, I have to share this clip. I didn't make it, but I am fascinated by how artificial intelligence has rendered this American dream. Because, I mean, it pretty much nails it. Now, the $500 billion commitment from Tim Apple includes Apple's work with thousands of suppliers, direct employment, Apple Intelligence infrastructure and data centers, corporate facilities, and Apple TV Plus productions in 20 states. There is a lot of money going to be spent, but some of it's going to more Ted Lasso, yes please, and data centers for AI that will create thousands of jobs, but let's be real, they will inevitably erase thousands of jobs. And that guy looks a lot like John Hamm. Yeah, it's crazy. According to estimates by Macworld, if Apple were able to make every effort to build the iPhone in the United States, it would take at least 3 to 5 years to build and staff the manufacturing plants. And that's with all necessary zoning permits, regulations, and environmental review, and other red tape fast-tracked in a way that it's never been done before, okay? 3 to 5 years. If we're doing it at like Operation Warp Speed. Training the tooling and manufacturing experts to create the necessary workers to fill these factories would also take several years. And that's if there were tens of thousands of people beginning such education and training today. Oh, and I should point out that workers at the Foxconn factory get $3 an hour. Woohoo! So Apple or any company relocating will be intent on getting as close as possible to that number. I mean, it's just the truth. The high precision, high volume manufacturing that Apple requires has been a concerted effort in Southeast Asia for decades, and it would take many years for the US to catch up. Even if Apple were to assemble iPhones and other products in the US, they are made from parts that are built from all over the world. Flash storage from Japan, displays from Samsung or LG in Korea. These parts would be subject to tariffs as they're brought into the US to be built into iPhones. Avoiding tariffs would mean those foreign companies would have to build and staff advanced manufactories in the US as well, which would take years. In addition, all of this production onshoring would come with huge capital expenditures and training and education costs that must be recouped. I've seen a lot of different numbers going around. Just what a phone will cost with the tariffs is one thing, but made in America, they're talking iPhones at $30,000. Like, it's not going to happen.
Team coverage of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the White House today. Let's get it started right now. We go straight to White House correspondent Kara Castronova with details on the Prime Minister's visit. Kara, what can you tell us?
So that's happening right now, and it's being little clips of it are being released on Rapid Response. So
takes a lifetime to throw to the field, and the mic is muted in the beginning. You know, I've been calling Vanessa Timu Vanna White, but part of me is wondering if this is some Mrs. Doubtfire stuff, because she could be Kevin Sorbo. I can see it. There's a bit of Sorbo in there, but wait, there's more.
She is there live at the White House. Allison, good to see you. What can you tell us?
Okay, there we go.
Good to see you, Vanessa. Thank you. Yes, the protesters are still going strong outside of the White House here.
This is so slapped together. Watch again. Listen for that accent. Hope the camera guy doesn't get deported or fired. I don't know what's going on here. The light just gets flicked on eventually.
Okay, there we go.
Good to see you, Vanessa. Thank you. Yes, the protesters are still going strong outside of the White House here.
You have the light, the sound, the subject ready, then you hit record. I mean, was she in the middle of doing those hooker nails and they decided to cut to her? What's going on? And speaking of deported, I mentioned Lindell had a Doge tracker on his site. No idea where they're getting those magical figures from, but he also proudly displays an ice tracker. And that's not for the stuff he crunches to remind him of the good old days. No, this is a ticker showing how many people Trump has tossed out of the country. And we know the majority of these people had no criminal record, never even a jaywalking ticket. A 31-year-old makeup artist was wrongly identified as a gang member and sent to an El Salvador prison. You'd think Trump would be going out of his way to protect the makeup artist, seeing as Trump, Laura, and well, most of MAGA all went full Guilfoyle and could use a few tips.
There can be permanent tariffs, and there can also be negotiations, because there are things that we need beyond tariffs. We need open borders. You know, we almost had a deal with China.
You hear that, MAGA? Get your open borders hats printed up. King Cheeto said it. New hat time. Subscribe. Marjorie Taylor Greene asked the internet to help her son Derek get drunk. It's my baby boy's birthday. He's 22. I love him so much. Buy him a beer. Now, this included the Venmo link. MTG's post had over 40,000 impressions before she deleted it. Was he embarrassed that his mom was trying to get her MAGA crowd to grease his wheels before he blew out the candles? Or did someone remind her that she's a multi-millionaire? It's not just that Margarine Taco Gristle rakes in nearly $200,000 a year in salary for putting up signs and displaying pictures of Hunter Biden's dick. She's so rich that her book, published by Don Jr. and printed in Canada, was a colossal flop, and that won't affect her at all. Marjorie's wealthy businessman father, Robert Taylor, pretty much handed his multi-million-dollar company, Taylor Commercial, to Greene and her then husband Perry. You know, the guy in the Cybertruck accosting the girls? Yes, Robert Taylor just crowned them president and vice president on paper, enabling her to collect paychecks and moderate a right-wing conspiracy theory Facebook group while attempting to open a CrossFit gym before stumbling her hammered spam can, mortadella meat stump feet into politics. She is worth $22 million, and that figure will rise. Marjorie has a history of investments that are a conflict of interest, from her CrowdStrike holdings to her stake in Tesla. On March 16th, 19th, and 24th, Greene spent $100,000 to $250,000 per transaction on T-bills. The site Quiver Quantitative reveals all of Marjorie Taylor Greene's trades this week, including her buys of Amazon, Dell, Apple, Lululemon, UPS, FedEx, and many others, as she uses her generational finances to buy the dip while calling those concerned about tariffs losers and failures. Oh, you can't afford to profit off the crash? You suck. But hey, buy your son a beer. You know, I ask people for donations because I make this show on spec, totally on my own. It is just me here. There aren't any sponsors. There are no guarantees. I'm here because some people are able to throw me what they can or grab a bit of merch, and that's what powers the show. That's what makes this all possible. And if I had millions, trust me, I wouldn't be asking for tips. I do the work, and then I see what happens.
I like golf so much that I want the same for the stock market. The lower the number, the better. It's true. You know, China will never be able to negotiate with me because the art of the deal is in English, so they can't learn all the business advice my ghostwriter put in there, so they'll be kissing my behind. They will. Eric, get the golden turtons ready for a smooch.
This is really cool.
For the second time in a month, the submarine has made a very public surfacing in Canada. One of the French Navy's newest Suffren-class nuclear attack submarines included a stop in Halifax as part of a testing mission in frigid waters. The Tourville is designed for anti-surface and strike warfare. It's equipped with naval cruise missiles, torpedoes, and anti-ship missiles. 2 weeks later, on the west coast in North Vancouver, the HMSC Cornerbrook appeared at the Burrard Dry Dock Pier. This is a Victoria-class hunter-killer submarine designed to take out nuclear subs and carries $90 million in torpedoes on board. And this has a lot of people asking, why now? Like, subs on each coast with different capabilities? Many don't think this is a coincidence and are very confident the submarine presence is a show of force and a reminder of the alliance between Canada and Europe. What is your take? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of comments, I had great fun posting this photo on my Facebook with people dropping hundreds of hilarious comments and replies. Who wants to wipe me down? Those pants are riding higher than the price of eggs. Looks like he switched from depends to pull-ups. The toilet backed up and flooded the document storage room. What a terrible day to have eyes. I am king, not emperor. What do you mean I don't have any clothes? I have the best clothes. Welcome to the Biff Tanner Museum. No tariffs on diapers. I said I would send someone the Tommy Campbell Show hat at random, so here we go. Congratulations, Ryan Ayers. Ayers, the infamous mean old lady of Mar-a-Lago. Again, I'll DM you a link. Please follow my Facebook page, Tommy Campbell Comedian, and add me on Instagram at Mr. Tommy Campbell. Grow some hair and get a life, you're pathetic liberal. Is that like signed, you're pathetic liberal? MAGA tears. Lies. The gold card is not to date Ivanka like this fool claim. It is a path to being a true American. MAGA tears. I can sense their disappointment. Lies. I thought I was going to have the hall pass. Too many whining babies in the comments. Part of this one moron show. Hashtag MAGA strong. Hashtag 51 first state. MAGA tears. Precision high volume manufacturing Apple requires. Factoring that Apple requires has been a concerted effort in Southeast Asia. That's a fantastic Steely Dan album. Check it out. Before stumbling or hammered spam can, Mortadella meets dumb feet into politics. I got to take that over. You know, I've been calling Vanessa Timu Vanna White, but part of me is wondering if this is some Mrs. Doubtfire stuff because she could be Kevin Sorbo. I can see it. Can you see it? I can see it.
The Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube, and I hope you subscribe.